I am in the woods. It is where we bring our first fruits to God. We're rolling out of bed before our house wakes up and we are reading His Word. Why? Because why not? One second I'm reading something and I'm crying. The next second I'm completely encouraged, and the next second I feel completely convicted. It is a complete whirlwind and I love every second of it. When you love someone, something, you want to learn as much as you can about it, and that is how I feel about God and His Word. Now let's get into this chapter by chapter Bible study series. We are in 2 Samuel chapter 20. Last chapter, David's kingdom is restored after the grief, the mourning, trying to get back into his kingdom, all the people who he talks to and greets, just all of the relationships involved in leadership. And now we are in chapter 20. Now a wicked man, a Benjaminite named Sheba, son of Bichri, happened to be there. He blew the ram's horn and shouted, "We have no portion in David, no inheritance in Jesse's son, each man to his tent, Israel." It's funny how people are always tooting their own horns. I wouldn't be saying this if I knew about Jesus, especially "we have no portion in David, no inheritance in Jesse's son, each man to his tent, Israel." I want to be in God's tent. I want to be in Jesus' tent. All the men of Israel deserted David and followed Sheba, son of Bichri, but the men of Judah from the Jordan all the way to Jerusalem remained loyal to their king. When David came to his palace in Jerusalem, he took the 10 concubines he had left to take care of the palace and placed them under guard. He provided for them, but he was not intimate with them. They were confined until the day of their death, living as widows. These last few chapters cram a lot in, because it is not exactly like a chronological story. It's just they're trying to give you some really important details of David's reign towards the end here. When Absalom started this rebellion, Absalom fulfilled God's prophecy. A man is going to sleep with your concubines in front of a lot of people, in front of you, and it's going to be disgraceful, and Absalom fulfilled that prophecy. Absalom ended up sleeping with all of David's concubines on the roof in front of everyone. Claim the throne. This caused a lot of public disgrace for the concubines and for David. It doesn't say that the concubines were okay with this or agreed to this. He might have taken them forcefully. Intimacy with the king's wives was a grave sin. David couldn't just go and continue a relationship with them after this. Not only is David's sin affecting an entire nation, community, but it's affecting these women who were his concubines. Now let's get back to that pesky Sheba. The king said to Amasa, "Summon the men of Judah to me within 3 days, and be here yourself." Amasa went to summon Judah, but he took longer than the time allotted. So David said to Abishai, "Sheba, son of Bichri, will do more harm to us than Absalom. Take your Lord's soldiers and pursue him, or he will find fortified cities and elude us." Last chapter, David replaced Joab with Amasa, which is funny because Joab and Amasa are cousins. David replaced Joab because he was trying to get back into command. He was trying to get back to his kingship, and so he was trying to win them over because they were debating on whether to bring him back at all. That decision was pretty easy too, because Joab had completely disobeyed David's command to go easy on Absalom. Amasa is in command and David gives him an order and he's already late on it. So David ended up sending Abishai to try to get the job done. Joab's men, the Cherethites, the Pelethites, and all the warriors marched out under Abishai's command. They left Jerusalem to pursue Sheba, son of Bichri. They were at the great stone in Gibeon when Amasa joined them. Joab was wearing his uniform, and over it was a belt around his waist with a sword in its sheath. He approached. The sword fell out. Joab asked, "Amasa, are you well, my brother?" Then with his right hand, Joab grabbed Amasa by the beard to kiss him. Amasa was not on guard against the sword in Joab's hand, and Joab stabbed him in the stomach with it and spilled his intestines out on the ground. Joab did not stab him again, and Amasa died. I cannot believe Joab kills Amasa. That's David's new commander. Not to mention they were cousins. Joab is not doing so good these days. Verse 14. Sheba passed through all the tribes of Israel to Bel of Beth Makkah. All the Berites came together and followed him. Joab's troops came to besiege Sheba, so surround Sheba in Abel. They built a siege ramp against the outer wall, so a ramp that basically goes up so the soldiers can move in. While the troops with Joab were battering the wall, trying to make it collapse, a wise woman called out from the city, "Listen, listen! Please tell Joab to come here and let me speak with him." When he had come near her, the woman asked, "Are you Joab?" He says, "I am." "Listen to the words of your servant," she said to him. He answered, "I'm listening." She said, "In the past they used to say, 'Seek counsel in Abel,' and that's how they settled disputes. I am one of the peaceful and faithful in Israel, but you are trying to destroy a city that is like a mother in Israel. Why would you devour the Lord's inheritance?" Joab protested, "Never. I would never devour or demolish. That is not the case. There is a man named Sheba who has rebelled against King David. Deliver this one man and I will withdraw from the city." The woman with all of her counsel did just that. In fact, she dropped Sheba's head off the side of the wall and said, "Here you go." Joab commanded the whole army of Israel return to the king in Jerusalem. We see a lot of fragility of a kingdom after a rebellion. The lack of addressing disagreements, issues on loyalty and faithfulness, which is very important right now in this time. And the major theme is the ripple effect that sin causes. This is all of these issues are caused from David's sin and his consequence and his punishment. Consequences don't just happen within the moment of the sin. It goes on, and it lasts a very long time. It impacts families, communities, causes war and stress. And even though we have Jesus, there's still consequences that we have to live with. I'll see you at the next 4 a.m. when we cover chapter 21. Thank you guys so much.